I want to take this time with you to lay out the innovation and investment challenges we face in a bit more detail and talk about steps that the FCC is taking to help entrepreneurs like yours bring new products to new markets. First, let's talk about spectrum. The President made that easy to talk about this week. The demand for spectrum is increasing. In 2014, mobile data traffic will be 20 to 50 times higher than it was in 2009, according to estimates from Yankee Group, Coda Research, and Cisco. Three drivers account for this. First, higher usage per person. Due to new devices, smartphones like the iPhone can generate 30 times more data traffic than a basic feature phone. Second, higher penetration. More people are using data on mobile services and devices. And third, broader set of entities using devices. Experts expect a huge increase in machine-to-machine wireless broadband communications. Think wireless-enabled cameras, for example. But it takes time to repurpose spectrum. The process has historically taken 6 to 13 years. The first step to freeing up 700 megahertz of spectrum was taken in 1996, but it wasn't available for use until 2009. And when we released the plan, there was only 50 megahertz of spectrum in the pipeline for future use. Without action today, we will face a spectrum crunch. Some experts say as soon as 3 years from now, in which demand for spectrum will 3 years from now, demand for spectrum will outpace supply. And if there isn't enough spectrum, prices will increase, quality will suffer, or both. A suboptimal outcome for American consumers, and an outcome that we can actually avoid if we undertake efforts to make more spectrum available today. We at the FCC aren't the only ones that have recognized this challenge. In fact, while we were writing the plan, over 100 companies, technology, telecom, electronics, and others, perhaps some of you, representing many billions of dollars of ongoing investment and millions of American jobs, submitted a formal filing to the FCC stating, quote, "Our nation's ability to lead the world in innovation and technology is threatened by the lack of sufficient spectrum for wireless broadband applications and services," end quote. So the Commission is acting to free up more spectrum for mobile broadband and to expand opportunities for innovative spectrum access models. In our Broadband Action Agenda, which was released in April just after the plan's release, we spelled out more than a dozen actions, proceedings, and initiatives that we will undertake over the next year just to promote access to spectrum alone. Our most significant objective is to make 500 megahertz of spectrum newly available for broadband use within the next 10 years. And so we at the FCC are obviously very pleased to see that on Monday, President Obama signed an executive memorandum aiming to do just that, a significant step forward in the execution of the National Broadband Plan that we laid out in March.